My name is Harper Ellison, 32 years old, former combat medic, Purple Heart recipient. My parents, Richard and Evelyn, flanked their sharp-suited lawyer like generals in a war I'd already won. Their complaint read like fiction. I had never enlisted, never deployed, never saved lives under fire. I was a con artist draining VA benefits and tarnishing the family legacy. The attorney delivered it with polished contempt, calling my service record an elaborate hoax and my name a borrowed identity. I kept my gaze forward, palms flat on the table. No outburst. No defense yet. Let the accusations pile up. My dress blues hung in the closet at home, sleeves still carrying faint traces of desert dust, but the memories lived in my bones. The roar of incoming mortars in Helmand Province, the copper taste of fear, the weight of a bleeding squad mate as I packed wounds and whispered, "Stay with me." They saw my silence as shame. I saw it as restraint. The judge, Honorable Lena Vasquez, presided with quiet authority, dark hair pulled back, eyes sharp behind wire frames. She listened without interruption as their side painted me as delusional, attention-seeking, fraudulent. Then she turned to me. "Ms. Ellison," she said, voice steady but low, "do you have anything to add before we proceed?" I met her eyes. Something flickered there, recognition, buried deep but rising fast. "Not yet, Your Honor." She nodded once, then addressed the plaintiff's counsel. "We'll take a short recess." Murmurs rippled through the gallery. Reporters shifted. My parents exchanged satisfied glances. They rose without looking at me, certain victory was minutes away. In the hallway outside chambers, Judge Vasquez appeared, not from the bench, but through a side door, robe shed, sleeves rolled to reveal a thin, jagged scar tracing her forearm. "Harper," she said simply. My breath caught. "Lieutenant Vasquez." The platoon leader, whose convoy I'd pulled from a ditch after an IED flipped their Humvee. I'd clamped her severed artery with my bare hands while gunfire cracked overhead, telling her to focus on my voice until the medevac arrived. "You kept the non-disclosure," she observed, not a question. "Still classified," I replied. "Provisional Task Force. Orders stand." She studied me a moment, the old battlefield calm settling between us. "Who was your platoon sergeant on that rotation?" "Sergeant First Class Malik Torres," I answered without hesitation. "He called the 9 line, told me to ignore the flames and get you stable." Her expression softened, just a fraction. "Torres. He made it home because of you." She glanced at the scar. "So did I." A bailiff knocked. "Court resumes in 5, Judge." Vasquez straightened. "Say nothing unless spoken to. But stand tall." Back inside, the room hushed as she took the bench. Counsel for the plaintiffs rose eagerly, ready to press their advantage. "Approach," Vasquez ordered. At sidebar, she didn't lower her voice. The plaintiffs claim the defendant fabricated her entire service history. They allege no verifiable records exist. The attorney began to object. Procedure, evidence rules, but Vasquez slid a slim, sealed packet across the bench. Pentagon liaison. Emergency declassification exception. Limited release for this proceeding. The clerk distributed copies. Deployment orders surfaced first. Dates, unit designations, redacted call signs. Then commendations, Bronze Star with V device for valor under fire. A casualty report listing me as the treating medic for multiple personnel, including 1L, Vasquez 1LT. My mother's hand flew to her throat. My father's knuckles blanched on his pen. Vasquez addressed the courtroom directly. "For the record, I served alongside Ms. Ellison in Helmand Province. On July 14, 2012, her actions under direct enemy fire kept me from bleeding out after our vehicle was hit. The scar on my arm is the proof. She carried out her duty when the rest of us couldn't. To question her service is to question mine." Silence swallowed the room. No gasps, no whispers, just stunned stillness. The gavel struck once. Case dismissed. With prejudice. The court finds no merit in the allegations. My parents gathered their things in mechanical silence. They walked past without a glance, footsteps retreating down the aisle like a door closing forever. Outside, the afternoon sun burned bright on the courthouse plaza. A few veterans in ball caps nodded respectfully as I passed. Cameras flashed, questions shouted. I kept walking. That evening, I unlocked the trunk in my spare room. Dress uniform, still crisp. Dog tags tangled with a faded challenge coin Vasquez had slipped me years ago in the dust. For the ones who hold the line. I placed the declassified pages beside it and stood at the window, watching city lights flicker on. They had tried to delete me. Instead, the truth had rewritten them out of my story. No more hiding the name I earned. No more shrinking from questions. The scar on her arm, the one I closed, now it closed theirs. If someone ever tries to steal your truth, especially the ones who should know it best, hold steady. The record speaks when words fail. And sometimes, the person who once needed your hands will be the one to give you back your name. Thank you for listening to the end. If this hit home, share it with someone carrying a silent battle. Like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what's one truth you've had to fight to keep?